Greetings, GMAN Div 10A. No wait, Div 4A. No, hold up. Oh man, 10 out of 10 intro as always. Anyways, we're back, and as you can hear, I am with Hummersev.
Hello.
Sweet. Let's start. Jesus, 10A. I was thinking of this isn't
10A is
scheduled.
like 200 SPP teams, 200 TV teams. 4A. There we go.
Haha. Horror All-Stars ties with Breakneck Rampage. This is a Necro tie. Somewhat unexpected because one of these Necro teams is not like the other. So yeah, that's interesting. Pretty, good MVPs for Breakneck Rampage. Pretty poor for Horror All-Stars. We'll take a look at that later. I guess relatively even in terms of injuries, but Breakneck Rampage definitely had the upper hand here. I think I'm also a little sick, so I might cough sometimes if I randomly cut out. That's why. As I said, dice, I don't really care about them because they don't tell the whole story. Anyways.
Yeah, it's true.
Toothing Coats losing to only Foals and Hobgoblins. Alright. Decent SPPs. MVPs rather. Toothing Coats actually injuring 3 Chorfs and killing one. Almost tied with injuries with the Chorfs, that's interesting.
I mean, like, as we said, like, he should see this season as a development one, and that's what he did, like, not getting any perms and getting quite some good amount of SPP.
He
probably
has
also
been doing,
he's
been doing quite decently, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I wasn't around last week, but the win versus the Necro was quite impressive. I also PM'd him, like, I was surprised, but, like, happy about it.
Interesting to note is that he had a wizard, fireballed 4 players, none of them went down. 0 out of 4 on the fireball.
Damn, that's not good. Like, my last 2 fireballs combined were like 7 out of 8 or something like that. Like,
why
crazy.
do you fireball?
You saw the last game, it worked. It was desperation.
I'm pretty sure that was luck though. Fireballed 3 players and got them all down, which was almost
I mastered the technique of fire.
Full, lost airbender, except it's firebender. Hogwarts Exiles 2-0 versus Not for the Cat #1. Underworld team doing work. Oh Jesus, 2 armor breaks for the Skaven? Yeah, the Skaven got 0 removals that entire game, whilst the Underworld got 7. I don't think we even have to look at the dice rolls. Like, Hogwarts Exiles, they had armor 9 on all their players. Whilst Not for the Cat had AV 7 on all their players. I think that tells basically the entire story. Tentacles didn't do anything either. Although that's better for the Skaven. No, Tentacles did a lot of things. So that didn't help the Skaven either. Yeah. Seemed pretty one-sided. Smart Models winning 2-0 versus Missa and his Assy Rats. Now there's perhaps not a shock, but perhaps a surprise. Assy Rats, of course, being, well, not dominant, definitely up there in terms of wins, although they have been replaced in their #1 spot by the Nagrite Night Stalkers, perhaps soon by the Smart Models too. We'll take a look at the leaderboard later.
Oh, did they lose? Because I wasn't around, did they lose the sacking Gatorana last week?
It got niggled, so he sacked it.
He fired him, yeah. Okay, that's decent.
These Chorfs got 25 armor breaks on the rats. A grand total of 14 removals? 13 removals. Yeah, that hurt. I can imagine. Fireball there. Yep. So that's basically what happened there. Missa and his Assy Rats got absolutely nuked by these Chorfs. I don't mean the fireball. The removals were insane, I think. Heavy Hitters version 2.0 2-1 versus Eldritch Ambrosioners. I think we could have expected this. Is that a Strength 5 Longbeard?
Oh boy, that's like FT levels of play.
Is that a
Damn.
Strength 5 Longbeard?
Yeah, this division is crazy. He got MVP as well. Ouch.
I didn't know. When did that happen?
You should
Whatever.
probably like get that from X, but I think we will talk about
Yeah,
it like when
yeah,
we go over the teams.
Yeah, I mean, isn't like dwarves are the worst matchup for Underworld, isn't it? Dwarves and
No,
trolls.
not really, because with Claw you can actually like get. I mean, it's not the best matchup, but it's also not like crazily bad because you can remove key pieces with your Claw Mighty Blow combo.
Fair enough. Although Claw Mighty Blow didn't do very much, I don't think. 5 armor breaks, of which he got 1 removal. And the dwarves, they got 17 armor breaks, 9 removals. Yep. And I mean, these are some serious dwarves. They have like 2000 TV, I think. Yeah. Armor, pretty bad, all things considered, for the dwarves. But, you know, they made do with only 1 removal. That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Nagrat Night Stalkers losing against the 4 stun dwarf technique. Did I say previously that it was a Nagarite Night Stalkers on top? Because it is the 4 stun dwarf technique. I'm mixing up my Dark Elf teams. I'm sorry, Eldudorino.
And then mixing up Dudorino's team with dwarfs.
Did I?
No, that's like what I usually do because of the team name.
Right. Yeah, I've done that before. Decent MVPs there. Pretty great actually for the Nagarite Night Stalkers getting that level there. Statistics?
Like, looking at this matchup, you see in total of 7 guards in an elf versus elf matchup. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that's that's pretty hilarious, honestly. Yeah, these teams are actually insane. They got in more guard while you were away. I'm almost certain of that. Either way,
Blitz of Pain. Okay, we will see that later.
in terms of blocks, pretty equal there. In terms of removal, very equal, except that one got an injury instead of a KO, so that's pretty huge. Well, it's pretty big at the very least. Dice rolls, I mean, really bad armor for the Nagarite's Night Stalkers, but that's, I mean, somewhat unfortunate. But then again, I'm pretty sure the 4 stun dwarf technique have that crazy witch elf, which is like never go piling up. So yeah. Dodges also worse for the Nagarite Night Stalkers, but you know, I don't really care about these numbers. They don't tell the whole story. Then lastly, we have the Essing Howlers losing versus Magnum of these airs. Not a huge surprise there, because it was an admin win.
Yeah, I was like looking at the game and seeing nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, explain something. But actually, the admin win levels a Saurus and a Croxigore, which is quite big.
Yeah, that is definitely pretty big. Let us take a look at the team stat. Let's start with Assyrats. Whoops, I went 1 too far. They got a level on Glart Smash Rip Jr.
Who
The star
got
player.
Yeah, I was like, what?
So yeah, didn't do much there, and then a loner died, and 2 linemen were MNG'd. Okay, I mean that's not great, but he didn't lose anyone important. I mean, rat emoji there. You know, he used to be a much better player. He used to be like a pretty badass sacker, but you know, Niggles. I probably wouldn't have sacked a Niggle, but I mean, I talked about this last
I
week.
wouldn't either at this spot. Like, he was pretty good. But on the other hand, the Sacker is the one who's always getting into harm's way. And then might be risky to keep him.
He was afraid that he would like 1 and 9 elite, and then he'd like kill himself, and then you know, life is hell.
Yeah, or even like be open for foul.
Yeah.
So I can see why you want to fire him.
Yeah, probably a pretty good long-term choice, I think, but we'll have to wait and see. Eldritch Ambrosia Runners. They played against the dwarves, so I can imagine some damage here. Yep. Let's take the levels first, though. A level on the Insane Thrower. Oh no, he got movement. That is a movement 9 Agi 4 Skaven Thrower. That is a Gutter Runner. That is literally a strength of Gutter Runner. You
Yeah,
have a
you're right,
Gutter
actually.
Runner
You just
on
need
an
dodge now.
Underworld team. Anyways, that's insane. Beasley also gets a level. He gets Russell.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And in terms of damage, only MNGs. So that's nice. Gotten a bunch of MNGs and a couple players, which is, I mean, unfortunate for the next game. Could be worse. He could have lost a lot more in the game with dwarves. For a stunned dwarf technique, getting up there in TV.
Yes, looking quite good.
In terms of
Some
levels,
linemen still need some levels.
nothing, no development whatsoever. I don't think. Yeah. Doesn't get any new players. I don't. Nah. So Mazamundi's heirs it is. Let us.
Ooh, the crops walled block.
Oh, that's pretty huge.
And I think another, like the other one that leveled was Osiris who got guard. Was it Woodnot?
It was
Or
Reich.
Erdnot?
The
Right. Okay,
Bustasaurus.
he got guard as well.
Yeah. I mean that's good. Guard is
Yep.
really important. By the way, if you didn't catch that, the Super Skink is niggled.
Ouchie.
Yep. So that's.
But I mean, he's usually not getting punched too much, anyways.
But if he ever does get punched, he'll get
That's
punched
true.
hard. You can't protect the player forever, sadly. Essinger Howlers.
I just checked his statistic from the skink, and he only sustained one casualty, which was the niggle.
Oof. Oof. Whoops. Essinger Howlers didn't get anything. Nagarite Night Stalkers. They got a level on pain. That is it. He gets diving tackle. I like it.
Yeah, he's like perfectly equipped now as tagging people with sidestep, tackle and diving tackle.
That is a peak blitzer. Basically.
Yep.
In terms of, rolling normals.
Next one is shadowing. What?
You really scared me because it was really loud. I thought some ads started playing, and
Like we need more ads for shadowing.
Nah.
Get shadowing now.
Your voice sounds completely different when you do that. Never do that again, basically. Moving on. By the way, he has a big bank, so maybe he spent that on something. How many players does he have? 4. That's 8. He doesn't have a bench, so I definitely recommend that.
He can save like one more game and upgrade his stadium to level 3.
Oh yeah, that's level 3 stadium is better than a bench. Fight me.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Going to the heavy hitters version 2.0. They are over 2k TV at this point.
Yeah. That's why. 4 strength ups.
This is an actually insane team. Like, he didn't get the strength 5 this week. I mean last week in his last game. Like, did I somehow miss that guy?
I mean, like, looking at the team, he can like miss some strength ups because there's so many.
It's true. I also like that it's Thor who got the strength 5. Either way, the rookie runner gets blocked. Fair enough.
Yeah, which is good.
And that's it.
Do you know FT's team from Big O, I think?
I think I've seen it. It has a reputation.
He had, I think, 2 strength 5 Longbeards at one point.
I did?
And some more strength 4 on other pieces. That was crazy team.
Then he had a roller 2, did he?
Yeah, probably.
Either way, smart models, Eldar's team.
Yeah, he rolled a double on his Hobgoblin ball carrier.
Oh wow, that is crazy actually.
This team is disgusting, what the fuck?
I mean, it makes his team a little bit more bloaty, which is I think what he wanted to avoid, but like, dodge on his carrier, that's huge. Yeah, yeah. Why do all bash teams get doubles on their ball carrier, by the way? It's very
I don't know,
unfair.
like every orc thrower is getting like strength up, edgy up, and stuff like that as well.
Like, it's unfair. And then the other hobgoblin gets dirty player. So he finally has a dirty player now. Good for him.
Didn't he have one already, or did he die?
He probably died.
Because I think he always had like one dirty player, but I might be wrong actually.
Didn't he say anything about keeping his hobgoblins lean or something like that? Nah, who cares? Hogwarts Exiles. Let us take a look at their development. I need to stop saying let's take a look because I'm starting to repeat myself and starting to annoy even myself. We got a niggle on Bomber Dribble Snot. So that is very big. Other than that,
When
nothing.
did Ginny got niggled? Was it last week or was it like? Oh
No, that's
no,
a
it's a
movement bust.
movement bust.
Told you about this one.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, yeah, that sucks really bad. But that's still a vampire who trades movement for armor, and that's still
Yeah.
pretty good. Even
And
though
also,
it's
like,
expensive.
still having the double before dodge is also quite valuable.
I mean, that is a really expensive piece. Like, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's like a wizard and a babe and then something. You know.
Yeah, or just a
player,
wizard and like a mercenary or something.
for example. Tooth and Coats. Let's take a look if they have managed to make any progress in the whole rebuilding thing. The tree's still
Yep.
alive.
The wrestle catcher leveled for strip ball.
Rebel.net doesn't want to load for me, so this is fun. Right, there we go.
I just remembered from like previously looking over them.
Really? Like, I don't even remember stuff I did last week, and you were here like 3 weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago? I don't know.
And now, like when we just like 10 minutes ago when we were talking about the matchups, like I saw him leveling up, and that's what I remembered.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, strip ball is a thing, even though that's usually something you get on War Dancers. But then again, if you get strip ball on War Dancers, you can't get wrestle. So I do like this. You kind of trade wrestle, the advantage of having wrestle on a strip, for having only strength 2 and needing to take a leap as a separate level. I don't know what I think about it. We'll have to wait and see how that works out.
Yeah, I'm quite fine with it. I like Psyche pieces being strength 2 is quite fine.
So yeah, that's pretty decent. Also, the gutter runner catcher, still interesting. Breakneck Rampage, bloody pending level 2. Is that a niggle on the wolf? No, it's an MNG. Luckily for him, that is basically the entire team, that wolf.
That's true, yeah.
He gets a level on Glenn Gould.
Yeah, it's pending.
He's maybe considering if he wants to be a ball carrier or a sacker.
I think it's actually a double, and he's not sure if if he wants to skip it or not.
I mean, it is a good question. Ghouls with guard are apparently pretty nice, but then again,
they die.
and they need another ghoul for something else. He can buy a second ghoul, by the way, which is something. I'm not sure if I would recommend it, but it's a possibility.
Probably not yet. I think you still want to wait till you get one more level on the other ghoul or something. Yeah. Or like not get a second one at all. I know many coaches who only get one at all time.
Yeah,
because,
I'm not a huge fan of them.
They died too quickly.
Yeah, although they do give some like much needed speed at the same time, it's a hard question. Only Foals and Hobgoblins. Where are they? There we go. Sorry, man, my coughing is actually killing me. Level on one of the Bull Centaurs with Break Tackle. He has movement, because of course he does.
Oh, that's the ball carrier one. That's quite impressive.
That
great.
is...
His blodge, Break Tackle, movement 7. Wow, that's impressive.
Like, next is like Agi, isn't it? We all know it.
Probably, or even like ridiculous strength up, just to be like a really annoying, fast-moving Shohan's strength 5 dude.
No, another movement, then he starts one turn. So yeah, that's a thing. He gets an MNG on one of the blockers. Oh great. He also got a Niggle and a Death on one of his Hobgoblins. Two of his Hobgoblins. He sacked both of them and rebought them. He had the money. I like it.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, cheap for a
They
reason.
didn't have skills. Not for the cat, number one. We see a movement bust on 9,999% injury proof. Number two, my guy.
It was a lie.
Cursed player right there. Other
I
than that,
think you should actually already sack him, and
yes,
he
you
has
should.
the money to replace him.
That player should be dead to you.
And he also has both Storm Vermin, so he doesn't need money for those or something like that. So get rid of him, use him as a carrier, and then just score quickly, like 2 times for the level.
Hmm. Yeah. Lineman died. Got replaced, probably. Maybe. Actually, he didn't get
No.
replaced. He might rebuy them. Later. We'll see. And then Horror All Stars. Let me just check the recording isn't messing up. It doesn't appear to be. Love it. Horror All Stars. There we go. Found them. He didn't get anything. Sick.
Yep.
Time to go over to old predictions. We're gonna do the leaderboard first, or predictions?
Well, let's do the predictions first.
Sure. You don't get the advantage of the fancy graphics to see both teams side by side. But oh well. This is Hogwarts Exiles versus Horror All Stars. Hold up, let me just go to. No, never mind. The really good Underworld team versus the less great Necro team. I mean, there's a Strength 5 Flesh Golem, but that's really all he has going for it. He has like 2 tackle, which is alright, but like this Underworld team's like really good, and the Necro doesn't get any inducements either. I'm pretty sure. I mean the Underworld they have the Strength up, Blitzer. They have the Mighty Blow Claw piling on tackle Blitzer. They have the Block Claw Tentacle Troll. They have the Insane Carrier. Excuse me. I think the Under will take this one.
Yep, agreeing here. Like, for her All-Stars, I would prefer or like would focus on getting the 2 injuries on your Mighty Blow tackle White, who's only 3 SPP away from leveling. Blitzing with him because he's actually the best blitzer anyways, and hoping for him to level, and then see what else you can get in the game. But I think, yeah, Underworld is favored here in my opinion.
Yep. And we have 2 Thin Coats versus Smart Models. And the 2 Thin Coats, they have. What do they really have? They don't really have that much going for it. I mean, there's the movement 9. That could be a scary 1-turning piece. And I guess the tree exists, but he isn't very good. Whilst Eldar has this really good team, though he is giving away a bunch of inducements. So I think Eldar has a better team, but inducements have to be taken into account. And even then, I think Eldar has this one just because of how good his team is. I mean, he has so much guard. He has a bunch of claw, not that it matters. He has a bunch of Mighty Blow instead. Mighty Blow piling on. He has those 2 really good bulls. Proper carrier, you know. Whilst, you know, Grimzilla, he has a couple things going for him, but not really that much.
I mean, he might be lucky and get like a wizard stunning or actually removing the ball carrying hobgoblin, and then Alda is quite like weak on recovery or might be weak on recovery, so he might get a lucky with a turn with a removal on the lightning strike as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not impossible, but I think
Oh no.
Hausdorff the favorite as well.
Yeah. I have said this before though. Tooth and Coats probably aren't going to take the win against this XY Bash team, but then they win because Wizards and Wood Elves go well together. So I mean, anything can happen. Heavy hitters versus 2.0 versus Breakneck Rampage. That is the Dwarves versus the other Necro team. Important to note that the other Necro team is missing their Strength 4 Wolf, which is really big.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's also, I think, the reason why I would favor the dwarfs 100% of the time.
I mean, I'd probably favor the Dwarves with or without that wolf because of how insane they are. Um, I mean, the guard span, the really good runner, the good troll slayers. I mean, these Necro are probably going to be hard pressed to win this one. They will get a bunch of inducements, like 600k more or less, which is gonna do a fair bit. That's like a wizard and 450k. So a wizard and something like Cheney and like a bribe maybe. Not exactly sure how much Cheney costs, but
I'm not
something
sure
along
either,
those
but I
lines.
would actually also prefer Cheney over Wizard if you can't get both, because
Yes.
Cheney gives you more movement, another
Well,
claw, and usually dwarves are so like clumped together, you usually can't capitalize on a wizard, even like especially with not having your werewolf and only having a rookie ghoul.
that's almost the opposite, honestly, because you lightning bolt the runner, and the dwarves are so clumped up. Is that and the scatter is like a 5+ catch, so just go like volleyball from one dwarf to the other, and lands in like one tackle zone, and then he has the agi 4 white. We can do some
Yeah, but it's cool.
do some work.
That's like hoping for miracles, basically.
He's surprised. I do think the dwarves take this one. It's a very good
Yep,
team,
same.
and the Necro are missing their star piece, even though they have some alright pieces there in the Agi 4 and the Strength 5. Nightlight Night Stalkers was only foes and Hobgoblins. Another Chorf team, this time versus Dark Elves. These Dark Elves, I mean, they are very good. Yeah,
Also, Dark Elves have more guard in this matchup than the Choff.
that's true actually. That's pretty funny. They have twice the guard. No, they don't. Never mind. The Chorfs
Choff
have 3 guard.
has 3, yeah.
I thought they only had 2 for a second there. I do think the Night Stalkers are favored here because they have more guard, they have, a bunch of good players, they have good skills, they have the Mighty Blow Witch, they have the pretty decent runner, and yes, the Chorfs have some pretty good players, very good players in fact. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Movement 7 Bull, and the various Strength 4 blockers. But I do think that the Night Stalkers can probably manage to pull this one off because their overall team is better. I do think so.
Yeah, I think so as well, because I think the Choff will need like a little bit more to get going. But that being said, the bull will make it quite hard to cover the ball for the Darkers. But they might just not need to and just stall out and screen off. Might be enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how he's gonna play this game because that bull is like scary as hell. I mean, at what point do you start hoping for like 25% chance that the bloody thing doesn't pick up the ball?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's not unlikely that he's messing up to pick up the ball for 1 or even 2 turns, which puts you in immediately like danger against any elf team.
Yep. I mean, he doesn't have kick, which sucks because otherwise he might kick short, and then maybe he fails picking up the ball, and then you're in the money. But
I think
yeah.
actually against Chov you want to kick deep, because you can like outrun the Chovs in getting behind. Because if you kick short, the blockers are around the bowl.
Well, yeah, but this carrier is so fast. He goes, picks up the ball, and then runs back to his front line in basically a turn. Like he
Yeah,
has
I mean, like,
movement 7 pieces like that, which is basically movement 8 because of his sure feet sprint. You don't
mm,
kick deep because that thing just runs up, and then you have people out of position and they just run through your line. Like I've lost games because I go, this stupid Camry can never, I'm faster than them in their front line. But then my kick lands on top of their like carrier, and then he just runs over to his front line, and then I'm just out of position.
I would actually disagree because of the high movement. No matter where he picks up, he can get where he wants pretty much anyway.
Mm.
And you want to kick for the case where he's not picking up the ball, and then you want it to be deep because then the ball is separated from the blockers.
No, but you want that
That's my
short because
opinion.
then you can actually pick up the ball when he fails to pick it up. If you kick it deep, he just has another shot at picking it up next turn, and it's still a 75% chance of working. So he's
Mm,
unlucky if it fails. And then again, he has probably like 2 or 3 hobgoblins in the back line too. Like you're not gonna do very much if you do kick deep. Either way, it's not like this conversation matters at all because neither of these teams has kick. Um, so that's pretty funny. I think Nagarath Night Stalkers take this one,
I would agree.
and we move on. Essinga Howlers versus Northrop Cat #1. This is the weird orc team versus the other
Weird scaling.
slightly yeah weird Skaven basically. Now this orc team, I don't think it has won yet. Not to throw shade, it's just stating facts. No, it's 0, 3, and 7. So even though the team is good, I don't think it has a great shot at winning this one. And of course, Hestorn has this pretty great team.
I would love him to like embrace the passing thing and using every double to get catch and stuff like
Oh
that.
hell yeah, I love that. Like I know I'm bored of the same standard orc team. I love this orc team. It's like actually the greatest because it's like an orc passing play which might not suck. Right. Not for the cat #1. It has some good players. I mean, there's the Claw Storm Vermin, though it's not great with our Mighty Blow, is it? There's the movement 10, but it doesn't have sprint. And then there's the thrower, which is like somewhat odd. Um, Although it's alright.
Yeah, I think like if he could spend for SPP, he would be in such a good spot just putting like a level on both of those blitzers,
Yeah.
like Stormvermin. But
I mean,
I think he's like one good game away from getting quite some increase in power level.
I do want to say that the Essing Howlers win this, and I don't know. I'm really torn, honestly. Essing
But
Howlers
I,
is
I, I
just
would
such a
agree.
weird team. Like, I do think they're gonna take this one, but it's
Yep,
hard.
it's like a lot for my pro players against not too many defensive skills. I would
Yeah.
agree there.
So I do think the Essing Howlers take this one. That
Yep.
said, Skaven they get a wizard. That's gonna be tough. Well, if worst comes to, I forgot the saying. Worst case scenario, you hope for a 1.
Probably, yeah. That's how you play.
As the Mundis Heirs versus the Assirats. You know what? I'm gonna take a quick peek at the leaderboard, just like here, to see how important this game is.
Asteroids on 4
Yes.
and Masmonizers on 5. So they are pretty close. So Masmonizers could take the 4th spot if they win this one.
Yeah, I think Misa really has to win this one if he wants a shot at the champs or the playoffs. So this is a relatively important game for both teams. There is
Mm-hmm.
everything to lose, but I still think the Assy Rats take this one. Matamuni's heirs have been doing well, but they have been so beat up. They have the Super Skink, but the rest of their team is not fantastic. Yes, they have the
Yeah,
Block Croxigore, which is alright, but he only has guard. Like, you really want like stand firm on him, and he needs the core of the Saurus. Like his Saurus right now, he only has like 5 well-developed ones, and one of them is like permed pretty badly. The other 3 only have 2 skills each.
yep. And
So
he also likes Mighty Blow, which he might need against Skaven.
he does have Mighty Blow Tackle.
Yeah, but I mean, like on more than one player, like
Right.
to get some more Mighty Blow going and maybe get some LOS removals.
I agree. I mean, Misa, he just doesn't he just have this? I mean, he has the one turning threat. He has the potential removal threat of his killer, even though it doesn't have claw. He has the like impressive gutter runners. I think Misa is taking this one. I don't even think he's giving away inducements. If anything, he's getting inducements. In fact, I'm gonna double check that really quickly.
He will get quite some
Yeah,
amount of
he
loners, but you
actually
can see
gets
like
30. He gets 115 inducements precisely. So he even
yep.
gets a wizard.
Yeah, I'm agreeing here
Insult to
on
injury.
favoring Mr. here.
I think so too. Lastly, we have Forest and Dwarf Technique versus the Eldritch Ambrose Runners. It's a game that is all about solidifying El Dudorino's lead. Currently, he is, but we'll take a closer look at the leaderboard later, 23 points, 2 points ahead of second place, and 4 points ahead of third place. Even if he loses this, he's not in a terrible position. But if he wins this, um, yeah, that'll be pretty huge. And I do think he'll win this. He has a really solid Dark Elf team. The Witch is fantastic. He has 3 guard. Some of his players, most notably his blitzers and perhaps his runners, they are lacking some skills, but I'm pretty sure he can make up with it. Yes, the other Ambrose runners have that pretty great thrower. They have the impressive killer and the pretty impressive troll. And well, you can't discount the Agi 4 goblin and set inducements, but they are missing that one blitzer. And I do feel like Underworld somewhat struggle against stuff like elves.
Hmm.
In my
I think in this
experience.
matchup, yeah, never mind, never mind. I wanted to say the troll might make the difference, but that's another game where you really wanted to have tentacles on the troll
Yeah,
instead of stand firm or even like claw.
I don't think the troll is gonna do a whole lot except maybe hit some like linemen. He doesn't have
Yeah,
he
or
doesn't have
just
tackle.
forcing dodges.
He doesn't have tentacles. Um, yeah, I don't think the troll is gonna do very much. The wizard might, maybe. I do think the forest and dwarf technique takes this one. I think they have the superior team, and El Dudorino has shown to be a very good coach.
Yep.
That is my 2 cents there. That's done with our predictions. Let's quick look at the leaderboard. We don't see the points here. I have to figure out somehow to like show my browser on here. I don't know. Like give me like 2 seconds and maybe I can.
I mean, you can also edit it in when you edit the video, actually.
Hold up. Display capture. You know what? Whatever. I'll fix this later. I'm not gonna spend time in the middle of the recording trying to get to this page. There's the thing. We have El Dudorino in first with 23 points. Eldar with 21, 19, 19, 18, 16. So really the cutoff point is 5th place in terms of real valid shots at the Champs Cup and the playoff spot. Yes, there's a chance for a Champs Cup spot for Okim and perhaps even Press Wilfa, but I don't think that's ever going to really happen unless people start throwing left and right. It is mostly about these 5 teams at this point. Some interesting games. If the Marzamundis heirs win this one, they shoot up to second place, perhaps temporarily, but still. And El Dudorino is sitting, well, not pretty. He is in a very good position. Um, yeah,
Yep, only lost one game, only drew two. That's quite impressive.
he is in a good spot. I think we can all agree on that. It's primarily a fight between the top two about the playoff spots, and it's the top 5 who are really competing for the Champs Cup spot.
I'm like actually interested in seeing how Missy's doing after his TV is going quite quite low, because for Skaven it's actually not too bad because inducing a wizard every game might be interesting. So I'm really like looking forward to see how this team is performing.
Quite. Alright, well, if that's it, I think that's all we have for today. Yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys next week on Thursdays, probably.
Yeah, hopefully as well. I should be around.